everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been a wonderful cold week. I'm still wearing the same sweater. Sorry. Um it's like my uniform because it's like the warmest thing I own. Hands down, I have a couple of other sweaters, guys. I do have clothes, but this is my favorite and it has so much sentimental value because it was the first sweater that my husband bought me when I moved to Germany. And anyways, let me stop talking about this damn ugly sweater. But more importantly, let's talk about what is beautiful and what is not. I want to get into my video because this is Nehanda. This is Nehanda in the comment section, right? And usually I make comments on my channel. I usually make comments on my YouTube channel in the comments that I get over there. This week we're going to be making we're going to have a very special treat. We're going to go over to Facebook and we're going to look at the comments on Facebook. So if you guys are excited, I am very excited because I made a comment. Let's just go over this, okay? And I will share because surprisingly, I got a lot of positive feedback from YouTube when I talked about how afraid I was and how concerned I was about this topic. And it was really interesting to see how people just lost their minds on this topic, because people feel some kind of way when it comes to the issue of weight. That's obvious, that's clear, and that is something that I now understand is an even bigger issue than I thought it was. So we're just gonna go. I am so sorry I did not find this soon enough. Here we go. This woman here, all right, is the Miss Nepal. If you can see here, she is a larger woman, if you may. And I reposted it after commenting that the comments that I was getting, because I posted it, then I reposted it, and then so this is the first one here. This one got people losing their minds. All right, people were commenting, people were sharing, people were getting upset. And let me just first talk about what I wrote about. All right, so I wrote here, we should not be promoting this. Obesity is on the high rise in most industrial countries, and women's health is suffering because of this. This is not what beautiful looks like. It is what unhealthy looks like. Stop the madness. That was my original post. And this got 33 comments, and then the other one got a whole other set of comments, and there was a lot of back and forth. So I'm just going to read out the comments to you as they come up, right? So here I have, the thing is that it's not just that people were commenting and coming out to this woman's defense because I said she wasn't beautiful. It was that people were ignoring the fact that being unhealthy is an issue in industrial countries. And this is my concern, is that we make it okay for people to be overweight. And I got a problem with that, because it's promoting things like, just like when we had the movement of smoking being okay as late as the 80s and 90s, you could still find movies where people were smoking. Now that is not even allowed because of the sensitivity that people have towards smoking being an okay way of life. All right. So we have here some people's comments. I'll just read through some of them. You have people here, you think she's obese? This is a regular sized woman in my country. This person here is from South Africa. And just because this is a regular sized woman, like in America, where most women of Black African descent are overweight, or sorry, obese. And if you guys don't know what obese means, please go and check out my video or Google it. You know, it's a very simple, straightforward thing. And then we get into it about what it means to even be obese. Just because something is the norm does not make it okay. I wasn't even going to dignify that with an answer, because later on, when we looked at the response, I said to her, beauty standards very globally, including in Zimbabwe, is shaped by cultural norms and history. I really believe that this is a very, very good comment for many reasons, two of which I'm going to mention here. Culture does shape beauty standards, but there is a resounding um, standard that people adhere to that is based on fertility. And there's actually a scientific quantification based on what is familiar and what is novel. So that's three, right? Not two, but three. Culture does affect what people find beautiful. Absolutely, I agree with that. But what is considered the norm cross cultures is health. Health is usually linked to fitness, and fitness is usually linked to not being this size that this young lady is. The third thing, like I mentioned before, is novelty. So people might find that people that look extremely different from what is the norm in whatever standard or culture they are might hold a certain level of intrigue within the standard of beauty. But what I want to focus on later on, I will be talking a little bit more about this in this video, is the difference between beauty and attractiveness. And if we need to know of course, you can make that distinction. And I think that people have always been able to make that distinction, that not everything is beautiful, is attractive. We can appreciate all different kinds of things. And beauty is not necessarily limited to physical appearance, but to something that is a little bit extra depending on where it is you come from and what it is that's important to you as something that you find that you want to be around, that you're drawn to. I'm very, very careful not to use the word attracted in that sense. But then people just decided to get into their feelings. I said to her very, very bluntly, this is a regular sized woman in America too. What does that have to do with the fact that this is not attractive, right? Like, I didn't say that, but I wanted to. Well, if you're going to talk about beautiful beauty pageants, we shouldn't promote them. We should scrap the industry altogether. The 5'11" girls weighing 100 pounds isn't exactly promoting a healthy lifestyle either. Now, guys, my daughter is about this IBM. She's not, she's not 5'11", but she's quite tall and she's quite thin. And I can attest, is a very healthy person. She has not starved herself, and she is not ill or has any kind of eating disorder or dietary issues at all. So these people go on extreme diets, and most of them sort of have had some kind of plastic surgery. Does that person sound like a hater to you? It's kind of sounding almost like as if women are not allowed to be beautiful anymore. Like, it is possible that some people are. I was actually talking to a man the other day. He was like, yeah, it's possible that some women are actually just naturally beautiful. They are just like that. They're tall, they're thin, they're outgoing, they're beautiful, they're talented. Women like that actually exist without any effort or need to try. And so the fact that this is considered now an anomaly, that we should just be inclusive and that everybody's beautiful, there is the situation of thinking about the fact that a lot of us are just average, and then some of us are exceptional. And those people who are exceptional should be acknowledged for their extraordinary abilities. And sometimes you're just born that way, and that's okay. I didn't understand really why why we feel the need so hard to demonize beauty and femininity in such a way that has never been heard of before. That to me was a little bit like, I can't even think of how to respond to this. This comment got 8 likes. Okay, this might not be a lot for y'all who post things regularly and get lots and loads of comments, but this is a lot of activity for my Facebook page in this regard. Like, people were coming out here to defend her. The focus should be on intelligence. Now, my response to that was, this is not an intelligence. This is a beauty pageant. It's not an intelligence and skills pageant. So what if women want to alter their appearance to get better results in certain circles. Every space has its standards and expected results. And while we want more inclusive, we want to be more inclusive, sometimes it's just not fair to those who actually work to deserve to be in certain places. If the beauty is not important, then just do away with the whole thing together. Nehanda, but what is beauty? I love this question, and I will be getting into it very shortly. I love this question, because this is a question that people who may not be attractive, like might be extremely unattractive, or people who are extremely attractive tend to ask. Why I say that, from my experience, it can either go both ways. You're invisible. Nobody pays attention to you. Nobody sees you. Nobody notices you. Nobody has ever given you a kind word or compliment at all. You just don't exist. Or everybody's nice to you and you think that people are just nice to everybody because that's your experience. And so when you're on either ends of that extremes, your reality or view of the world tends to be skewed by your experience in such a way that you see the world through a specific lens, and you don't understand that the people in the middle might have varying responses and experiences that don't necessarily reflect what you're experiencing. And it might skew your ability to understand that there are standards, and you may or may not fit in those standards. And there are reasons for that, and that's okay. Self-awareness is a huge part of this, and understanding that just because you don't fit a certain standard does not mean that you don't have your place. Everybody has a place. So moving on, she only looks big compared to the extremely thin women usually in these competitions. Bet if you saw her in reality, she looks normal. I really am. Anyways, no, she wouldn't look normal. She would look big. I'm sorry, guys. No, we're not gonna pretty this thing up. We're not gonna pretty up a pig, pun intended. Now, so that's true. She looks only so big because of the very thin, tiny ribbon around her belly. Oh my God, he's so mean. Excellent observation. I did not even see that, y'all. He's so terrible. Oh my days, I have to like that. But so, okay, so there was another one here. There was a more important one that I absolutely have to talk about. If you guys have not subscribed to my Facebook channel, please go ahead and do so. This is very juicy content. Well, it's a lot of activity for my content, so for my page, so you know. Okay, so here we have somebody that actually tried to take the time out to respond. Y'all could go read the length of her. So you had it? The length of her whole comment, if you guys are interested in. I would more respect for people if they would just honestly say, I don't want to see fat people because it represents ugly, lazy, and unattractive. However, emaciated models are something I want to see because it represents discipline, restriction, and superiority. Again, when we tend to work in extremes, I tend to think that a person has an issue. Like I don't starve myself. I'm not extremely disciplined. I am quite disciplined with my fitness. I am quite disciplined with what I eat. I don't think that I'm superior. I probably would consider myself superior in health because it is a direct correlation, like I stated several times in this back and forth banter that I've had with these people, is that most of the times when you see people who look like this, these are the people who will be at the hospital most of the time in the very near future. Now, I want to get to the cardiologist because a cardiologist friend of mine came on my channel and spoke to the issue. And people were quite rude. All right. And I was very, very surprised of how quickly the conversation went south because people were not able to get their way. And it comes from this ideology that you have to shame people, guilt people, and you need to be right without even thinking about having conversations from any place of fact or proving or proof. Because this is a person who sees this kind of health issue all the days, every day for decades. And no one wanted to actually listen to what he had to say. So I can't really, I'm looking for it here, but I think it was in the other one. So I'm not gonna pull it up. Most of the people here actually have an issue with body positivity and are in support of body positivity and beauty standards being, you know, not an issue or an issue that should be considered. That beautiful people come in all shapes and sizes. And it says here, the Miss Nepal sparks mixed reactions in prelims of Miss Universe body beauty contest. Now, Miss Nepal was one of the most appalled aspirants in the swimsuit competition, and she is one of the favorite candidates of many viewers. However, in the wake of Miss Universe competition's preliminary round in El Salvador, the plus-size contestant representing Nepal had sparked a range of reactions. While some applaud the pageant inclusivity, others express concerns about the potential body image implications. The diverse response highlighted ongoing discussions surrounding beauty standards and representation of pageant world. Now, that's going to be it for me. If y'all want to check that out, I will try to leave a link down. I always leave a link down to my Facebook area and below. So if you guys want to check out that and get in on some of this, please, I will link it down below so you can go take a look at that. One of the issues, the main issue that I ended up wanting to address is the issue of beauty versus attractiveness. And there seems to be a line crossing when it comes to what is attractive and what is beautiful. Can an attractive person be beautiful? Usually those things go hand in hand. Can an unattractive or somebody, can you think of somebody that is hot but not beautiful and someone that's beautiful but not hot? Absolutely. Such a thing actually exists. That is a thing. Because you could say your children are beautiful, but you're not attracted to them, I hope. Your mother, your grandmother. Beauty is something that is holding space in the place of a level of virtue that people find themselves drawn to. And so I would not necessarily disagree with this individual being beautiful. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I am saying is that we're gonna go there. Is that she's not attractive because attraction in the terms of a pageant sense or in terms of level of attractiveness as what women are revered for as for being attractive is not what she is, irregardless of whatever cultural dynamics play a role in this said attractiveness. We do not find in the Western world and in modern society overweight women to be normally attractive, irregardless of what men will say or what women tell each other. Because that's a part of the issue as well, is that we have become pander bears in our way of trying to be helpful and nice and kind to each other. It is unkind to say that that woman is attractive because you know that she is not. You know that if you were her, you know that if anybody compared you to her, you would be singing a different tune. And this is one of the issues that I think we need to start to be a little bit more honest. I like that the young lady said to me, oh, you need to be honest and say that you just want to see people who are skinny and emaciated. How do we get from one extreme to the other? Why can't you just be a size S or just somebody who has enough weight on their body but not overweight? I don't believe that we have to now redefine what it means to be overweight or redefine what being overweight means in terms of health. Men don't want women who are overweight for the most part because of the health implications, because men pick women according to their health. So you don't have to be beautiful, but being healthy is attractive because that is a sign of fertility and good health and less expense. That means that you are fit enough to take care of children, to not be a burden, to not be a complication, but an asset, pun intended. And I don't understand what is so complicated about that. Now, culturally speaking, for the larger women, or why larger women were revered as more attractive at one or several points in society, it was because, especially even in my own culture and society, is that you had to be able to weather the storm, and those who didn't have those extra pounds on them could not weather the storm. They just literally withered away and died. And it is strange that we still have that mentality today, even though it wasn't that, I guess it wasn't too long ago for some cultures where being, this weight meant that you were only one sickness away from death. And only those who had a couple extra calories on them would be able to weather a storm or a sickness or an illness. It was also a sign of wealth, that you could afford to eat not just enough, but more. We are past, majority of the Earth's population is past this cultural phenomenon. That time is over and done. Most people on Earth, I think it's something like 90 or 85% of us have enough to eat and varying degrees or variations of food to eat. That means that we don't have to eat the same thing a day. We have options. And so that means that when we make bad decisions, it is our choice. Nobody's forcing us. This is not racism. This is not prejudicial. This is us being unwise, despite the fact that we have enough information, education to know that this is unhealthy. And we don't entirely understand the the hereditary issues. Like in my culture, we have seen a humongous rise in diabetes because we were not used to eating all of this goddamn rich food.
It's all the white man's fault.
I'm recording, So our body is reacting very negatively to this food that we now have as a status symbol to indicate to our neighbors via heart attack and diabetes that we can choose to eat healthy, to eat more richer, but not necessarily more healthier. And for the rest of us who want to eat like how our ancestors ate, you are no longer a slave hand in the cotton field. You cannot eat pig feet and fried chicken every day. You cannot eat pigtail and rice and beans and cassava and potatoes and steaks every day if you're going to be sat in front of your computer just typing away or on your phone or not getting the same amount of physical exercise your grandmother or great grandmother got. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the lady was right. Young lady was right about the cultural differences and how most women are bigger. Most women are bigger because most women are eating the same way their mothers and grandmothers ate, but with way less activity. So diet and exercise is still the way to get yourself to a healthy space or get more physical activity in your day. And the thing about beauty is that absolutely beauty has a lot of other facets to add to it. I'm not even going to get into the whole, maybe I'll do a second part. Maybe I'll do a second part and focus just on beauty and versus attractiveness and hotness, because I agree. She probably is a very beautiful person on the inside. But what I see, what I see on the outside is not that. And that's okay. But we need to start to learn how to be real honest about that. And for those of us who are just as average as she is, or maybe might have a little bit more meat on our bones like she does, this is not a personal offense to you or stab at you. Everybody has their place and space in life. Just accept it. Yeah, I'm bigger. Yeah, I'm not as cute as the other girls on the Miss Universe pageant. That's okay. We have become super obsessed with not being beautiful by obsessing and demonizing women who are. Who are you? Like, go sit your average ass down and be okay with just being average. Damn. Since when is not being attractive bad? And so bad that we have to like get mad at other people just because they are and say that they're attractive. They must have chopped their nose off or had liposuction, or you know what? Some people are actually just born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. All right, guys, I hope you guys are having a great week. It's the holidays, make sure to stay, calm. Do the most or do the least or do what makes you happy. And I will see you in the next one. Make sure to stay safe and stay free. Peace.